Don't allow the heat of life, don't allow the trials of life to kind of harden your heart and, the trials of your marriage, the difficulties of your marriage. Don't allow those things to make you to where you're not receptive to change. You're not receptive to listen.
Right.
You're not receptive to instructions. Again, you're not receptive to the word that God will speak to you, that he'll show you.
Yeah.
So again, it is something that we have to deal with. And I think especially in marriage, life can have a way of just kind of hardening you. Your home, it matters. You're there to make a difference.
Happy Home Matters Day. What are you laughing at?
The way you started, because you were just giving it to me. Now y'all smiles, right?
I'll tell you why. Because he's like taking up all the room over here.
I'm not taking up all the room.
You really are. Like your
I
leg
need more
is just
room than you.
Well, I won't argue with that. But
you got a hard heart.
I'm trying to do better. Give me a little grace.
Well,
the other thing is, it is hot in this little studio thing today. I'm about to burn up. Are you hot?
It's a little warm. We're glad you joined us. So, hey,
yes,
welcome
we
to
are.
Home Matters. Welcome to Home Matters. Put on your little smile.
Oh no, I'm not going to be fake. I'm not going to be fake.
We're glad you are here, and
we are glad you're here, man. I mean, it is February.
Yep.
I mean, Valentine's Day is coming. You got a plan?
Valentine's. Sure, I do. Always got a plan.
Okay.
I don't just plan for Valentine's. You know that.
I know. It's more than a day.
I live every day to pursue.
You live in love.
Yeah, I love this girl, but we know
I feel
that
loved.
sometimes, again,
Squished, but loved.
See there, you just.
I couldn't help it.
Again, look, our legs. You can see our legs. You're way over halfway.
He's exaggerating, but it's okay. Yeah.
Let's get into our subject today.
Yeah, we might need
because
to.
I think this applies to where we are living right now. The danger of a hardened heart. That's the title you put on this today.
I don't have a hard heart.
The danger of a hardened heart.
I don't have it, though.
So with that, again, that we realize that, man, in relationship, not only just relationship with God.
Yeah.
I think relationship, period, you can get kind of hard and indifferent, calloused,
you
difficult.
Can, and there's a story in the Bible. It's actually in Zechariah, and I've read it many times, and I have to laugh every time I read it. It's not funny, but it's the people of God, and the word says that they wouldn't listen. Like they put. One version says they actually put fingers in their ears so they couldn't hear.
Yeah.
They just they didn't want to hear. And because of that, the word says that their hearts became hard as stone.
Ooh.
They just refused to hear the word of God. They just refused instruction. And, in thinking about that, there are several places in the Bible that God talks about the fact that we can have a hard heart. The fact that New Testament, he said that Moses gave them a right of divorce. I mean, they were able to divorce because they had this hard heart. They were just hard-hearted.
The hardness of their hearts. And what that basically is referring to is, again, what you're saying is people just saying, I'm going to do it my own way.
Yeah,
I'm going to have my way. I'm going to make myself happy.
Yeah, I don't care what God or anybody else says.
You get insensitive to the need of anybody. And you get insensitive really to the purpose or the will of God for your life.
Yeah.
And again, we do realize that most people listening, you probably walking a walk of faith in the Lord, that Jesus, you say he is your Lord, that he leads your life. But I think that even then sometimes if you're not careful, you got kind of caught up in your own space and in your own head.
Absolutely.
And, you get to a point that you're just really just stubborn about what is right. And
that word right there.
Yeah, you get stubborn about, your own
Come on,
way,
husbands,
getting your own way.
Wives, if that word applies, You know,
Yeah.
I don't know, just the whole stubborn, stony. I'm thankful that, you know, we don't have to stay in that place. All right. But that is a place that we can find ourselves if we're not careful, if we don't keep eyes open, hearts open all the time. And I tell couples all the time, or I've told, especially women that I talk to for years, that, you know, that's been a prayer of mine that I've prayed many times. I actually have one written out that stays in my Bible all the time, that I just ask the Lord to never let my heart become hard. First of all, to Him, because I need His direction. I need the Spirit in my life giving me direction. But secondly, to my husband, I don't want to ever get to the place where I just have that hard, stony heart that's not pliable, that's not open to you.
Not receptive.
Yeah, not receptive. Just
Again, you're talking about Old Testament scripture, Hosea. You know, there's a passage there that it says that we are to break up the fallow ground, that we're to receive, that we're to have receptive hearts. And that again, I don't know. I mean, I know in the summertime we've been out in the heart, the heat of summer.
Yeah.
I'm not a big summer, hot weather fan when it's really like.
I love summer.
Well, I mean, I enjoy parts of summer, but I mean, when it's like 98 degrees.
Yeah, that's no fun. I agree.
85, and
where
you're just
live,
surviving.
Miserable,
where we're
right?
at. But in those, you get really dry seasons in the summertime, and when that happens, the ground just bakes.
Yeah.
And I know that a lot of times we're out prepping ground for different stuff at the late summertime. And that's the worst time that you can sow seed.
You can't break through. Sometimes.
It's hard. It's so hard. It's so, again, can I use the word calloused? And that's what we're saying. Don't allow the heat of life. Don't allow the trials of life to kind of harden your heart, and the trials of your marriage, the difficulties of your marriage. Don't allow those things to make you to where you're not receptive to change. You're not receptive to listen.
Right.
You're not receptive to instructions. Again, you're not receptive to the word that God will speak to you, that He'll show you.
Yeah.
So again, it is something that we have to deal with. And I think especially in marriage, life can have a way of just kind of hardening you sometimes.
It can. I think the experiences that we go through, and sometimes those are legitimately, tragedies, hurts, disappointments, things that we face that, we wouldn't choose to go there, but life just kind of had a way of dealing that to us. And, even in the relationship, there can be those things that we face that if we aren't careful, if we are not always paying attention, I feel like, to what is happening with our heart, that we can get to that place really almost unaware.
Sure you can.
Just, one little event, one thing, one word at a time.
Life happens, right?
I've heard that before,
And,
yeah.
Again, it is a reality that, because of the processes we go through in life sometimes, because of the routines.
Yeah.
Because of the pressures, again, it does have a way of kind of making us insensitive and making us hardened to the needs of our spouse,
right?
The needs of our children. Even the relationships outside of our immediate family, if we're not careful, we can become real calloused. We have so much coming at us today as far as information, news.
Yes.
We see things today on our social media feeds that at one time it would have been unthinkable. We see acts of violence.
They wouldn't.
Things.
It wouldn't have been on our TV screen or.
No.
I mean, you might hear about it, but you would not see it.
Right. But it has desensitized us.
So true.
And made us so insensitive to the little things sometimes in life that if we're not careful, we can really get that place where everything just kind of dries up.
Yeah.
And you don't have any empathy, no sympathy. You're not ever able to really
It's true.
be sensitive to the needs of others, and especially our family.
Yeah,
our marriage,
and
our kids.
You mentioned it, but just that coldness that we end up
Yeah.
with. You fixing my G?
Yep.
I mean, we just end up cold towards one another. And, you know, maybe some other things we can mention, but I think about the passage where David cried out and he said, God created me a clean heart. You know, he was talking about, you know, purifying. God, anything in me that's not like you, get rid of it. And I think our prayer definitely needs to be that. But at the same time, God created me a softened heart, a pliable heart that is not cold, again, to him or to our spouse.
Yeah.
And he'll do that. There are promises. There's a passage in Ezekiel, I've just had it underlined and highlighted for years in my Bible, where it says that the Lord will take out your old cold, stony heart and he'll give you a new heart.
We use that a lot for marriage.
Yeah.
And I think that's so true. I think people in marriage can get stony and hard and cold.
Yes.
And really treat it as if it's the norm.
Yeah.
They treat it as if that's just the way marriage is. And that's not true.
Like after some time, that's just what you can expect.
Yeah.
I think that's what a lot of people think. But look, I don't believe that's true. Our relationship with God should never get to that point. There should always be a freshness there. There should always be a desire there. And I believe that same is to be in our marriage relationship. That, things are going to happen. He's going to say something I don't like. He's going to do something that hurt my feelings. Something's going to happen a lot. I mean, we've been married 39 years.
Yep.
I mean, we hit the 40 this year. Can you believe that? I mean, you look so amazingly young. How in the world you been married for 40 years? That's what I'm wondering.
Wife. That's
well. Okay, don't know about that. But I'm just saying, in that length of time, I think that either of us could.
After, though, just again, transparency here, right?
Okay.
Have there been seasons where we sense that hardness, that callousness?
Yeah.
And that's what we're saying. We're not trying to throw something out there that we've not faced.
Lived. That's where that prayer came from that I wrote, years ago. And for myself, Lord, no matter what's happening right now, I know the danger of my heart being hard toward you. And I don't ever want that to happen towards my husband. Yeah. So guard your heart in that.
But that awareness, right?
Yeah.
That it
just
can happen.
knowing it can happen.
And again, when you sense it at all, it's where you repent, right? You turn. That's you mentioned the prayer of David, there in Psalms 51, where he's found himself in full blown disobedience, full blown destruction. I mean, all around him there's destruction. But in that time, I love Psalms 139, where David again, he said, Lord, you search me and know me, know what's in me.
Know what's in me.
And I say this all the time. There's some prayers we just don't like to pray.
This is true.
There's some things we don't like to pray because
I don't want you to point that out, God.
Yeah,
right?
We don't want God to mess with. What we're saying is this, that there needs to be in our lives, especially in dealing with our relationship, marital relationship, raising kids, relationships, in-law relationship. All we're saying is that for a home to be healthy, there has to be that place that is always given room for the Lord to bring us correction, to bring us in alignment.
Yes.
So,
and for him to be able to do that, our heart has to be softened to that. Yeah. So that's why we say it's such a danger. So look, we mentioned coldness, but you say, okay, how do I know if I'm, kind of slipping over into that place? I think there's signs in your relationship and in your life. If you are cold, if you just lack the care and the empathy that we should have for one another. If it's like, well, I don't really care if that hurt his feelings. I don't really care what he thinks right now. I don't, so what if he had a bad day? I did too. It all comes back to me when we get in that place. It's like there's no empathy there. There's no care there because it's just about me right now. That's a heart that is hardened.
Yeah.
That's a heart that refuses to look past, what's going on here to our spouse, to have any care there, any concern.
Yeah, I think that, you pick up on that sometime with people who really, I think we all probably deal with it sometime, but when you get emotionally drained or physically drained, you can get to a place that you don't even care anymore.
For sure.
And I think that's one of the tricks that we fall into is we allow our weariness of soul or body or mind, we allow that to happen. And before you know it, you do get into a place where you don't have any concern, you don't have any sympathy or empathy. We've used that word over and over, but again, it is a place where you don't really feel like you do care. And again, it's not always. I'd say that's not always intentional.
No,
I think that can happen just
life
because
happens, right?
Yeah, just because life kind of led you down this path. But again, you got to be aware of that.
Yes,
you got to know that. Hey, I'm just tired, and I'm so worn that I just don't even care right now.
Yeah.
That's a dangerous place to live.
It is.
You got to revive your soul somewhere. Refresh yourself somehow. Boy, that's true in marriage, isn't it? You got to refresh that relationship on a continual basis.
Yeah.
Because if you don't do that, then it can get mundane and stale.
The tiredness, the weariness just leads us into rote and routine where there's no life, where there's no energy, there's no passion, there's no intimacy. And when we get in that place, it's easy just to become cold and indifferent.
Yep.
Right. I think when we find ourselves just kind of isolating from one another, good sign.
No.
You better open up your eyes, right?
Yep. That's right. Don't be so stubborn that you think, well, I'll just do this. I don't have to have her. I don't have to have him. I was talking to somebody the other day that said, I don't need anybody.
Okay.
God bless you, sir.
Yeah.
That's
not what the Bible says.
No, you will find somewhere you are heavily dependent on somebody else. And you will find somewhere, if you don't find the place where you're connected, if you don't have connection in your relationship with your spouse, that isolation can create just a shell.
Yeah, it does.
Just a hardness and a difficulty of relating and interrelating.
Don't let anybody in. It's just, if there's lack of conversation and intimacy, if there's lack of affection, if there's just emotional distance that you feel there, all of that is just the breeding ground for a hard heart.
Yeah.
And I would just say, man, you gotta open your eyes. There's probably been disappointment, unmet expectations. You're not going to be married to somebody over a week and not have some unmet expectations, right? Yeah. But we don't ever let go of those. We just hold them in. We don't ever let the Lord deal with them. We don't ever have a conversation about them. And it just becomes another stumbling block that just kind of builds up that wall around our heart, around our emotions. So many things. I mean, harsh words, resentment. I think there are just so many things that we can look at as signs that maybe we're kind of slipping into that place, dangerous place.
Here's a good one, I've seen is when we're just overly critical of someone. If we're overly critical.
They can't do anything right.
Can't do anything right. We're looking for what's wrong.
Right.
Usually I think that happens when we know we're not offering our best.
Yeah,
I think it's easy to point out the faults of others when we know our own faults.
True. And, again, I'd rather talk about your faults than mine any day.
Yeah,
right?
I've always said, the most offensive people in the world are the people who know they're not giving it their best. You can't say anything to them because they really get defensive. And I think those kind of hand in hand. They're more critical. They're easily defensive. But again, in that we just kind of drift apart. We kind of grow apart. We get kind of seared, and again callous to the people that really matter in life. But
and I think everything is bigger when our heart is hard. When our heart when our heart is hard. In that, I mean, a word that something that you might say that just didn't set well. Okay. If my heart is already hard to you, then that's a big deal. All right. But if my heart is soft, if it's pliable, I can say, well, he just acted stupid right then. I mean, I don't know what's
you talking about.
No, I'm just saying. Do what?
You mean like little triggers?
Yeah,
I just
when you're I mean that's a good word, but because when your heart is already hard, it's just you are calloused to it, but it's just like another heavy block on the heart.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's just like another heavy brick that I'm packing on.
Yeah.
But when our heart is soft and pliable, we give room. We offer grace. We offer some mercy. We have some patience.
Yeah.
We offer some kindness in the place of maybe when we didn't even get kindness, because our heart is still tender towards the person, and that love is there.
Yeah, that we're blessed when we're meek. We're blessed when we're broken.
That's what the word says. Yeah.
The thing is again, there's no reason for us to get this veneer of entitlement that we think, we deserve to be the way we are. We've always got to give room. And I think God's intention for you in your relationship, man, I got to make sure that I'm always receptive. That, again, you use the word pliable, that my heart's always pliable.
Yes.
Toward God and to the people in my life.
That's right. I want to maintain a soft heart.
I'm glad you do.
Yeah.
I'm glad you do, and always tender skin like a rhinoceros. I say for men, a skin like a rhinoceros. You got to be tough hide. You need a tough hide. We need men to be men, but also we need men that know how to be tender as well. Have a tender heart, tender spirit toward their spouse. Man, you want your marriage to
and that's not
be
just
well.
A man thing. Come on, ladies, we can just be real cold and callous sometimes.
Oh yeah, I know. I know women can. I've seen women get just. I mean, it's almost like you're dealing with a man. I hate to say it that way, but they can just be really hard inside, just callous, and that's evident. But again, hey, keep a tender heart.
Yeah.
Don't grow hard-hearted. Don't be so stubborn that you cut your nose off to spite your face, kind of thing. Don't. Listen, it's not worth it.
Look, in humility, go to the Lord, pray that prayer, and what he talked about in Ezekiel, you can see it happen in your own life. He'll take your stony heart and replace it. Man, isn't that a beautiful picture? He'll take that old hard heart out and replace it with one that's like his, pliable, able to love and to be tender.
Always remember, your home matters, and again, we appreciate
that's
you.
Right.
Share the podcast with others. If you know couples that just kind of isolated and grown apart, maybe hard-hearted and stubborn toward each other, share the podcast with them. Tell them to take a listen.
That's right. Can't wait. We will see you next time.
Bye-bye.